other interesting cultural news, you have Skittles introducing a packing wrapper to support BLM Trans. Now, perhaps on the opposite side of the political aisle, the cultural aisle, with the ESG scores, you have some companies that seem to be leaning into it. Interestingly enough, they're not publicly traded. So perhaps the only thing they need in terms of ESG score is more credit from the banks. I mean, Skittles, they're a subsidiary, or they're a brand owned by Mars Inc. Now, Mars Inc. is one of the oldest, most successful chocolate companies on the planet. They were established back in 1911. Now, I know public test scores at all-time low for math, history, science, pretty much everything in America, but we need to pay teachers more, is what I'm told. But we'll do a little math here today. Now, founded in 1911, that's 112 years ago about. And it's actually founded over by Franklin Clarence Mars, makes sense, Mars Inc., and still headquartered in Virginia. And it's a still family-owned business to this day with about 130,000 employees. And as of 2022, their yearly revenue was $45 billion, which that's a lot of sugar, a lot of chocolate. For something I can't imagine buying more than once a year for Halloween for trick-or-treaters, I guess. I'm one of those things where I'm astonished how many Americans just love sweets to no end. But I digress. In terms of the specific marketing campaign and advertising, instead of having the traditional Skittles bag, which, think back in the day, it was a nice bright red packaging, which from a marketing perspective was pretty good because it got your attention. Red is one of the first colors you see. Look at this color spectrum. That's right. There's speculation on the origin of why fire trucks were originally painted red, and only they were allowed to be red vehicles back in the day in the United States. Is because you could see it first. Now they changed the packaging so it's white, which kind of ironic. I'm surprised some people aren't calling it racist for that in and of itself. But this new packaging, again, it's a white Skittles bag, and it actually features a drag queen and a trans rainbow. And again, this is targeted towards kids. Adults don't eat candy. I can't. Maybe if you're training for an Ironman, or if you're working out and you want some extra sugar or something, but adults really don't buy candy. There's no reason to. It's a kid thing. But I digress. For this packaging, it's white. It has the drag queen and a trans rainbow, so it's pretty political. It's, of course, not the American flag. The companies don't do that anymore. And on the packaging, it also has like a little skate park, and it has a little graffiti that say "Black Trans Lives Matter," which, ironically enough, is, if you look at the demographics of the trans community and who's transitioning, I don't think it's pretty big in the African American community, as far as I can tell. Pretty evident by, well, I would say anecdotally, the things you see on the TikTok and the YouTube and all that. But there's also more graffiti on there, which I was going to say that's insult to energy in and of itself. Graffiti, why are you glorifying kids going out and doing graffiti? If anything, they should have kids with a paintbrush, covering up the graffiti. But I know family values and doing good things are, unfortunately, an art of a lost time for many, unfortunately. But they also had graffiti that said "Joy Resist," which, yeah, I don't get that I don't understand that either. Joy, so you receive joy from resisting. Resisting what? Resisting old cultural norms? Resisting... I can't fathom what they mean by joy resist. I need to surely check out the Urban Dictionary more often, of course. But why are they making children's candy with these types of wrappers? Will this increase sales? Let me know in the comments. Will this increase sales by one package of candy? Perhaps in San Francisco, although you could also argue that it's because theft is at an all-time high because they don't prosecute crime or theft anymore under $950, basically. The DAs don't prosecute anything, so I just Google San Francisco crime, you'll get more videos than you can possibly count. So they would sell there, but no one pays for things. No one is paying for things in San Francisco anymore. So I can't fathom how much is going to increase their sales. The trans community is growing by number of units, number of people. So the demographic is growing, but is that growth rate accelerating enough to gather enough sales to overcome the amount of people that you've ostracized and you've outcast with this? Because, again, I know people in the middle, and as this has become a political issue or political debate, it's kind of broken down to left and right to some extent. I see a lot of people in the middle who are also wondering why this is being targeted to why are you targeting my kids? Why do they need to see this? Kid's 5. What the hell does he need to know about these adult themes for? I can't fathom a legitimate reason, but I can't help but think they're going to alienate a large portion of all their clients. And will there be a boycott against this? I can't. I mean, it's a pretty darn easy thing not to buy, especially if you're an adult. I can only see the issue if you're a parent and you're shopping for groceries and little Timmy wants the candy bar, you might have to tell him twice, put it down, you don't need that. And you have to recite him the book of, here's what you need, here's what you want. And maybe you'll sing an old Disney song before Disney shot themselves in the foot precipitously, losing billions of dollars on movies. Back when they made good movies, you make you sing that song, The Bare Necessities, in which you eloquently explain, yeah, pretty much everything you see in the store, you do not need Timmy or Billy, whatever kids' names are these days. You really don't need any of that stuff. That's a want. It's a treat. Well, it used to be a treat. You buy it rarely. That's what is the definition of a treat. If you have Skittles every day, it's not a treat. You also die because of diabetes, presumably, but it also defeats the purpose of what is a treat. So this is something I think will be pretty easy to boycott if there is a boycott. But yeah, because you really don't need compressed sugar pellets. Unless you're a gerbil, maybe? Or who else? Or who eats this? I can't fathom why you need to buy this product. So I would think the boycott would be pretty easy, but socially or culturally thinking, I don't think there's going to be a big boycott because they didn't put a person behind it. And I think that was probably the big difference between the Bud Light boycott that gained a lot of traction is they had a physical person behind the campaign. And again, Bud Light says there was no campaign. However, Dylan has said in video there was a campaign. But Bud Light swears it's just one can, one bottle. But I digress. And again, Dylan's average age, the person who's on TikTok, the largest age demographic on TikTok, is a child. It's under 19 years old, which again cannot buy beer in the United States. In France, probably, yeah, that's what they do. But this is America. We have to work more than 2 hours a day, so presumably we can't have drunken children in the United States. Again, on top of being more moral. But that's just my 3 cents. It used to be 2 cents, but 40-year hyperinflation should charge 4 cents, but just only 3 cents today. But it is free to click that subscribe button. Trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of the month. Greatly appreciate that, as well as your feedback in the comment section. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, we're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of August, so you can click that button and greatly appreciate it. Also, don't forget to take the time to like and comment. The feedback is greatly appreciated. It's how we make the show better and better. And lastly, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.